Hello and welcome to the second in my series of packet tracer network simulation videos where I do various networking tasks in my nifty network simulator. For this one we are going to configure a couple of routers and then try to ping across the resulting network. My name is Chris Gordon. Let's begin. So the first thing it wants us to do is configure the device host names. So we go to main office router, go to the command line interface tab, go to privileged exec mode. Now we go to global configuration mode by chpt, which stands for configuration terminal. Now I just say a host name, and this one's going to be main office. That's all. So you can exit to privilege exec mode by hitting Control Z, and make sure you copy your running configuration to your startup configuration. It'll ask for a file name. You don't have to type anything in. There's another way to do it, which I'll do it from now on, is just type in WR and it writes it to whatever the current one is called. It's faster and I prefer it. Now we go to the other one, remote site 1. Go into its command line interface, enable to get into privileged exec mode, chpt to get into global config mode, type in host name, and this one is rmt underscore site 1. And Control Z, and I just type in WR to write that to the current startup config. Okay, minimize that. Now we go over here and it wants us to go back to the main office router and configure the serial 010 interface. So main office, we're already in the CLI. So int for interface, S for serial, 0/1/0 represents the specific serial we're talking about. The port, the controller, and I don't remember what the other one is, I'm sorry. We are now in the interface config as shown by the IF on the end of config. So we set up an IP address, 192.168.1.1, and a subnet mask, 255.255.255.252. And because this is the DC end of a serial connection, we've got to set the clock rate. So clock rate 64,000 in compliance with the instructions. Make sure you no shut down it, just because if you don't, it will shut down automatically. And now, if you put do on in front of a command, it will usually let you do it no matter what mode you're in, because I couldn't do a write right now if I were not in privileged exec mode. Okay, so exit out of that, and now we are to configure the fast Ethernet 00. So in that case, int for interface, FA for fast, and then 0/0. Now we assign it an IP address of 192.168.2.1, and it looks like the default class C subnet mask of 255.255.255.0. Make sure you no shut it, because you want it to work. Make sure you save your config. And that is all we're going to do on this router for this set of steps. Let's scroll down a little bit. Back to the remote site 1. Okay. And we're going to configure this one's serial interface. So chpt configuration terminal int s010 0/1/0 IP address 192.168.1.2 space, and then its subnet mask. Which will limit it to 2 interfaces on the entire subnet, I believe. Make sure you know shut. Now, fast Ethernet 00 according to the instructions. And it wants 192.168.3.1 with a subnet mask of 255.255.0. No shut. Copy. Okay, back to main office. I'm gonna exit using Control-Z to privileged exec mode. And now we are going to configure the RIP routing protocol. So, get into global config, so configuration terminal. Type router RIP to enable RIP version 2 to make it version 2, which is in almost every way better. And then we tell it what networks we want to advertise, which in this case are 192.168.1 and .3.0. So network 192.168.1.0. Network 192.168.3.0. Exit to global and to privileged exec. Make sure you save. And I messed up. Awesome. I was looking in the wrong place. But to fix it is easily done. So, chpt no router RIP. Usually if you want to undo something, just say no in front of it. Now we'll re-enable it. .192.168.1.0 .2.0. There, fixed. Yep. There we go. Okay, and then we go to remote site and do the same thing, but with different addresses, of course. Okay, there's that. And now back to the main office router. We are going to configure some passwords. So from privilege exec mode, we conf t again, enable secret Cisco 123. Okay, now to get into privileged exec mode, you'll need that password. And it's a secret, so it's just between you and me, okay? Nobody else can know. Now we configure a password for the line console. That makes it so you have to have a password to hook up to the console. To hook up to the console port. And once you say the password, make sure you put login, otherwise it's going to want a password and not give you a way to put it in. Alright. And then we do the VTY, which is the telnet, because you can configure routers via telnet once everything is set up enough. Okay. Okay, that's main office for you. Now remote site, do exactly the same stuff. And login, done and done. Okay, there's that. Now we do a show run on both of these. To make sure that they are configured correctly. So hostname is main office, we change that and that's what it's supposed to be. Enable secret, it's supposed to look like this, don't worry. But there is a secret password on there and that's what matters. Assuming we said it right. Fast Ethernet 192.168.2.1, that's what it's supposed to be. Serial 010. 192.168.1.1, also what it's supposed to be, clock speed, and subnet mask where they're supposed to be. Alright, so router RIP, it's advertising the right networks, even though I messed it up the first time. But remember, we put no in front of it, and that undid it. For console, the password shows because it's not secret. You can enable password encryption to make it so these don't show too, but didn't tell me to, so. And then line VTY04, that means that the 0 and the 4 indicates that there can be up to 5 simultaneous telnet connections to the router. You can configure them for more or less, from what I understand. Never had to, though. Alright, so all that was good. Now we check remote site 1. Show run. Secret, name, IP address, IP address of the serial, no clock rate because you only set that on one end, router RIP, what networks it's supposed to advertise, passwords, and we're good. Alright. Now it wants us to ping PC1 from PC0. I don't think this is going to work, given that they don't have the right addresses or even gateways set. But it told me to do it, so I'll do it. Ping desktop. Ping 192.68.3.3. And it should time out. Or say it's unreachable, one of the two. Yeah, it timed out. Okay, that didn't work. Let's try tracer out. 192.168.3.3. And as far as answering these questions, I think I answered them during the video. So, what commands are used to enter into fast Ethernet 00 when starting at the user exec prompt? User exec, you type enable to get to privileged exec, and then you type configuration terminal or conft to get into global config, and then interface space fa0/0 will get you into fast Ethernet 00. And which interface must be configured with a clock rate command? That would be the DCE. The DTEN does not require clock rate. It has it dictated to it from the DCE. Okay, those were not able to ping, but again, it didn't have me do any setup on the PCs, so I'm thinking that's what's supposed to happen. Let's see. It says I completed it. I'll take it. Alright, thanks for watching.